Welcome back, y'all. Welcome back. Today we are doing Anita Library's challenge. I'm going to put her information up here and below in the description bar. She is the original creator of this challenge. It's the Read the Rainbow challenge. So she has different prompts for the different colors, and I'm going to put that in the description bar too. But I watched her video and I was like, this is so neat. And I was getting recommendations from it. So I was like, let me do it. Here we are. So let's just jump into it. Red, a book that pissed me off. Hands down. And these are my recent reads, okay? Hands down is King Leopold's Ghost. That book made me so mad, it's not even funny. Not because it was bad, because it was real life evilness being like written about. Like, it made me so mad how evil the people can be and how you can really like take over and destroy and harm and abuse and like a whole group of people for what? Like, it made that book piss me off like no end. I kid you not. I don't even think I have the words to describe how mad that book made me, how disgusted I was, how like it's so hard to even like conceptualize this is real. Like these people really did that. It's about the brutal, evil, disgusting colonization of the Congo. The like just that book. I feel like I can't. I was floored. I feel like I don't even have the words to say how pissed I was when I read that book. So that fits the color red perfectly. Like, it was a necessary read for me. Let's move on. Pissed. Okay. And I'm looking down because I got my iPad to remember the prompts. So y'all bear with me. Orange, a book that I would recommend to anyone. Again, these are only my recent reads, so I'm trying to be fair and I'm looking at what I recently read. A book I would recommend to anyone. Anyone is so broad. Okay, let me think. But to be fair, okay. Anyone. Anyone? I think I recommend The Giver to anyone just because it can cover a broad range of people. Like, it can cover like young people I might be recommending a book for, adults, the whole gambit. So The Giver, because it's a story that is short, it's easy to follow, but it's impactful. It's a classic for a reason, or a modern classic for a reason. It's so much to be gained from reading it. It's relatable then when it was written and now. So I would probably say The Giver. And I never read it in school, like middle school and high school, like a lot of people did. I read it recently as an adult. What month was that? I read it in February of this year. So, and I still got a lot from it. So that's a book that I feel like I would recommend to anyone. Next, we have Yellow, a book about friendship and family. These are only recent books, okay? Ooh, I got a lot of good ones about that I would okay. Friends and family. It's so many to choose from. I'm going to pick Perfect Peace by Daniel Black. It's what is it about friendship and family? Let me think, because now I feel like I'm overthinking this. Am I overthinking this, y'all? I might be overthinking it. Because it's not. I'm overthinking it. I'm just gonna go with it. Let me just go with it. I'm gonna choose Perfect Peace because while I don't feel like that's 100% what the book is really about, it's heavily themed in this book. Like the relationship between Perfect and his family and his friends and the family outside of Perfect too. So I feel like this book was a good representation of family and friends and especially like thinking about how you can impact your children, whether you mean to or not, how your selfish desires can really alter their life and the rest of your family's life. Yeah, it follows. I know I've done a review on this, but it follows this main character. His name is Perfect Peace. His mom was wild. She did what she could. I'm looking because I'm getting a call, but y'all, I'm recording a video. Stop playing. Anyways, his mom did something out of control because of a selfish desire, told his lie, blew up in her face, and ended up harming all parties involved. And it just talks about like Perfect's experience, like his self identity, his how everything was wrapped up into that. And now what? Like, what's the aftermath of that? But it talks about his relationship with his dad, his brothers, his friends at school, in the neighborhood, his mom, his self, like his friends when he was younger versus when they grew up. So I just feel like this is a good book that deals with family and friends, even though, again, I think I'm overthinking it. Like, it's not about family and friends, but it's so interwoven that I feel like it fits. Next, okay, Green, a book that inspired me. Okay. Looking at my recent reads, I'm choosing the first one that pops out and jumps out at me, a book that inspired me. Inspired me. I'm going to have to pick King, A Life by Jonathan Eig. This made me think, it inspired me because it painted such a realistic, important view of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. that I felt like this flawed person, this like just a regular human, like I can do something impactful, whether that be impacting the people in my household, whatever. Like, you, a regular flawed person, can be impactful. You have no idea the effect and the impact you can have on other people. And that made me like really think about how I showed up. Think about the fact that you just never know. You never know how the decisions that you're making will affect other people, what it can inspire. And so this book inspired me to be like a better version of me, because he was flawed, but he was so magnificent in a lot of ways. So like important and so human at the same time. So I would pick A Life, King, A Life, because I feel like that inspired me. Next, okay. Blue, a book that made me cry my little eyeballs out. Oh, it's like 10 that just popped out of the screen. It's a lot of them that I recently read, but I'm going to pick The Bluest Eye by Toni Morrison. I read that in January. You just wanted to go protect Pecola. I just wanted to, like, I was so hurt for her and the other people in this book. Like, I was just so, that book, it hit me right in the feels, man. There's a lot of books that I read recently that would make me want to cry my little eyeballs out. But that one in particular, yeah. And I think it's like where I was at mentally when I read it too. I was already like feeling somber. And then I read that and I'm like, why nobody, like, she just, what, you just, these kids don't be protected. So that's what I'm going to pick. The Bluest Eye by Toni Morrison. Purple, a book that I loved. Again, it's so many. I'm just going to pick one. Pop, pop, pop. Ooh, I'm picking. It's so many. I don't even know. Okay. It's like almost not fair to choose just because like it's so many good ones. I'm like, which one? I'm gonna be fair. I said initially I would pick the first book that popped out to me because there would be multiple ones that qualify. So I'm gonna go with the first one that popped out, even though so many other ones would fit. That's crazy. So many would fit. But the first one that popped out to me was Their Eyes Were Watching God. And I just read this book in April and it was so good. It is like, it just felt like some books are just like for you. You know what I mean? Like this book, it's a classic for a reason. I felt like reading it was so familiar. Not the story, like just it just like when you put something on and you just know like, yeah, that's right up my alley. Right up my alley. The main character, she just telling her story to her best friend, and you just feel like I'm on a porch with them. I'm in a town. I'm seeing what's going on. Like you got tea cake over here, checkers over here, the card game over here, the store over there. And it just fit like I flew through that book. I think I read it in like a day. I love that book. I was eating it up. So that's that. Then we have White, a book that I forgot I even read. 100% Pop Right Out, Black Shield Maiden by Willow Smith. I've said it before and I'm gonna say it again. I almost DNF'd that book. And the only reason I didn't is because it was a book club read and I wanted to show up to the book club having read it so I can give my little 2 cents. It fell so short for me. I feel like the premise overall, like you almost got like this Black Viking vibe where you going through history and you got these Black Viking warriors and they doing it and they like dominating and overcoming and all this. And it just feels so short for me. So much so that I almost forgot I read it this year. Yeah. Let's wrap it up with the last one. Black, a book that gives me hope. Mm, a lot of these could. So again, y'all, I'm looking at my recent reads and I'm just gonna pick the first one that qualifies that pops out. So a book that gives me hope. A book that gives me hope. Dang, not many of them are popping out. What I be reading? Am I reading hopeless books? Hold on, I gotta go through with a fine tooth comb. A book that gives me hope. Chat. Okay, one popped out. Church Girl by Dr. Sarita Lyons. This book gives me hope because low key the other ones didn't. Let me see. Honestly, it's the first one that pops out that I'm like, yeah, that could qualify for it. It gives me hope because I mean, we talking about finding your identity in Christ, like the greatest hope. You know what I mean? So while I didn't have many books that I read that gave me hope. I wouldn't say I left this book feeling hopeful, but I left knowing that my hope is in Christ. So that qualifies as a book that gives me hope. And now I'm looking like this is a good inventory of what I read because I don't be reading hopeful books, and not many books inspire me either. Like it was pretty easy to pick out King of Life, but that's okay. I might try to sprinkle in a little. If you have books that have given you hope and inspired you, and not made you mad and sad and annoyed and disgusted, drop them in the comments because I need a little inspiration. I need a little hope in my reading. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Anita, for doing this challenge. It was fun, eye-opening, all that. If y'all do it, I think you should. It was pretty fun for me to do it. Make sure to tag Anita. See y'all later.